Allen Maldonado on the Fishbowl. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to swim in the bowl with me.
No problem.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say that I'm like a huge fan. I first started noticing you in Friday After Next.
Okay. Thank you.
Like I'm a huge fan of the Friday movies. I've grew up around like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube and all that. Like you nailed it. I also want to have that kind of be like, I guess, a segue into what was it like working on Straight Outta Compton?
Man, Straight Outta Compton was nostalgic for me, being that I spent the first 8 years of my life in Compton. And like my sister actually went to high school with MC Ren. And her best friend was next door neighbors to Suge's grandmother's house. Like all of those events were, actual memories of my childhood. So to be a part of that film and be a part of that, I would say like legacy was incredible, being that, I lived through it.
That's awesome. Did Ice Cube or Dr. Dre or anybody that was from like the original band give pointers or anything throughout the shoot, or did they kind of remain more behind the scenes?
Well, no, they were definitely hands-on. In my particular scene, it was just involving Eazy-E, but Dre was there. Dr. Dre was there pretty much every day. Just kind of giving insight. F. Gary Gray is, I would say, one of the best directors that we have. Definitely R.I.P. to John Singleton. I just found out he passed today. So F. Gary Gray is an incredible director, where he came in and gave a lot of insight and gave all the actors everything that they needed to perform at a high level. But like I said, Cube and Dre were there every day, so they were always there to give input.
That's awesome. What got you interested in film?
It was my senior year in high school. My senior year in high school is when things really kicked off for me, as far as like the acting bug and really wanting to be a part of this phenomenon of what acting is and performing. And it just felt right to me. I was an athlete throughout high school. I played basketball, and I would, kind of play around with the idea of being an actor, but it wasn't until I got into my senior year in class that it really got the bug. Started writing, I started performing in the different plays that we had, and it just really took over at that point.
That's awesome. Now, I actually went to school for screenwriting. I just won a festival for one of my TV pilots as a zombie comedy, and I made it as a quarterfinalist and a finalist in a couple other competitions. But my question for you is, how does it differ from being on the writer's side to the actor's side, and how does it co-translate?
Well, they play hand in hand. I'll start on the writing side. On the writing side, you get an idea of where the concept came from. You get to plant your roots in what you feel the emotions are. You get to set the tone or build the skeleton for the actor to build upon. I always suggest to actors, there's one thing you can't over-respect the writer. And I'm coming from a writer. I'm a writer as well. You can't over-respect the writer and not allow who you are and your talent and what your gifts will allow to be the role. A lot of times I often find myself even speaking to writers about it by allowing their actors to build on their script rather than try to restrain them. I always love to use the example of like Jim Carrey. You can give Jim Carrey a script and he can say it word for word, but you're not getting Jim Carrey. You're not getting the best of Jim Carrey. You're not getting who you hired. You have to allow Jim Carrey to take what you give him and take it to another level. That's why you hire these. That's why these phenomenal actors are great, because you allow them to be great. So being on the writing side as an actor, I'm able to dissect the script in detail, because I have a position of knowing. I would try my best to see where the writer is coming from, to see if this is just an area or if this is a specific detail that I need to focus on as I, portray whatever role that whatever the role needs as far as what the dialogue or where the description. There's so many things that's underneath the words that if you're a writer and you're an actor, you're able to see things a little more clear. It's kind of like a player coach. If you're in sport, if you're in sports, you get to be on both sides of the game.
Fantastic. That's a great analysis right there.
Thank you.
Writing for Survivor's Remorse, did you put any of your, I guess, own experiences into that, or because like when I write, I take like inspirations from stuff that goes on around me and like in my daily life. And I was wondering, when writing for that show, did you take inspirations from things that happen like in, events over the course of your life or daily life, or was that more?
Well, yeah. Whenever you're in the writer's room, you're in there with, it could be from 3 to 12 people in there, and you get your best stuff from real events. The writer's room is sacred just because when you're in there, you it's a safe space, so to speak, where you get to share and sometimes overshare about your personal experience to find a common through line or a common story that you can apply to said TV show or series. So a lot of what we write is from a real place, especially on that particular show, not just mine, but other people in the room. So it was a collective effort of everybody kind of injecting their own personal experiences, and then we were able to sift through them all and find out which ones work for the show.
Awesome. I have to say that I really like that show a lot.
Thank you.
I watched it from episode 1, and I'm definitely a big fan.
Thank you.
Absolutely. To talk about some of your other TV work, let's talk about Blackish.
Yeah.
Your character Curtis is fantastic. I was wondering what is some of the dynamics that goes into with shooting with such a cast like Anthony Anderson and everyone else that's involved.
It's a phenomenal cast. It's that particular show. I feel like we're ushering in the talent that will be seen for the next several generations. You got some incredible. All of the kids on there are phenomenal. Anthony Anderson is spectacular. Tracy Ellis Ross, Dion, Jeff. I mean, everybody down is a great actor in their own right. And it's just effortless. It's effortless. When you get on there, it's not work. It's just everybody gets to play and, share their talents together. It's one funny day, as when the cameras aren't rolling, we're cracking jokes, we're, throwing ideas. And it doesn't even have to be in regards to the show, but just in life, it's one big family. And I'm so honored and privileged to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Do you have any favorite experiences so far working on the show, or any like funny stories?
One of the funniest experiences for me is oftentimes you forget, just because how humble and gracious she is, that, Tracy Ellis Ross is the daughter of Diana Ross. And I just remember us, sitting around talking, and we fell upon something in regards to Christmas. And I'm over there telling her, telling my story, telling my Charlie Brown ass Christmas. And it was a bit sad, and, just like, oh, we just got this. And it was real minor. It was real minor. And just everybody's kind of sharing their stories. And then she begins to share her story where it's like, yeah, Michael Jackson sang and different things. And it's not her bragging. This is just literally her. This is her life. Like, this was her life. And it just was fascinating that you forget that sometimes, that her childhood involved so many great and talented individuals that were family to her. That wasn't like, these weren't big events. This was just day to day. So that was funny to me.
That's awesome. I'm really big on music. I actually interview musicians as well. And like, my show focuses a lot on film, entertainment, music. And
okay.
I think, music and film really goes hand in hand. I love hearing stories about like exactly like that. Like it's almost like a little just like surreal to hear those stories and have them be just like an everyday thing in certain people's lives. I just think that's really, really cool and interesting to find out. And I like to have my listeners and viewers to hear that as well. I think they find that type of stuff very, very interesting. Any funny stories about Anthony Anderson?
Oh man, Anthony's just hilarious all the time, man. We just, our blooper reels are legendary as we constantly fuck up, but in a way that is not in a bad way. It's just us having fun and just us enjoying what we do, because as an actor, you can't stress over being perfect. You just can be in the moment. And sometimes, our brains go out, we go blank right. And we forget a line, or we'll stumble on a line, or just certain words that are just difficult at some times. Like those are some of the funnest moments where all of us share in those mistakes, where we'll flub a line, or we'll say it backwards, or we'll say it. And that's just the perfect chaos that goes into filming anything, whether it's television or film, and you enjoy and you embrace those moments, and you that's when the bond of that's when you really bond as a group, is when when you guys kind of mess up together and then fix it and put it back together.
Awesome. Now let's transition to The Last OG. There are some pretty heavy hitters on that show. I mean, I personally, I think Tracy Morgan is one of the funniest comedians out there right now. Tiffany Haddish is also fantastic. I think she's just only going up. And Cedric The Entertainer was always one of my favorite comedians among like the original Kings of Comedy. What is it like working with all those, I guess, dynamics again, but on a different program?
It feels like playing on the Golden State Warriors, where you just got superior athletes everywhere you look. And it just makes the game easier. It makes everything on set easier when it comes to finding the funny in a scene. We all have our natural abilities to just find the funny, even in dramatic moments, or just find the subtle things to elevate the script. As I mentioned earlier, it just, everybody elevates each other. Steel sharpens steel. It's just an actor's or comedian's playground when you look at every corner and there's no weak links.
Awesome. Now I'm going to ask the same question, because Tracy Morgan has to be just there has to be some funny stories about him from set.
Yeah, man, it's so many. It's so many funny stories, and I think that's what everyone I think everybody has their own funny story with Tracy. I'd rather share some special moments that I had with him.
Yeah.
During the first season, I saw 3 people cry in meeting Tracy. We shoot the show in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is his hometown. During our first season, this was his first big project from, the near fatal accident. And just to see the impact of the Brooklyn natives and how happy they were to see him back working, doing what he does, making people laugh with the gifts that God gave him. And just to see how the city embraced and, was relieved of their champion to still be alive and to be able to continue to do what he was doing. Like, I saw it 3 times where people just were emotional and in celebration that he was continuing his journey as a comedian and continuing his life. Those moments were more impactful than anything, just because it shows the effect that we have as entertainers and the responsibility also of being able to do what we do and being able to, give people hope and give people a ray of light during their darkest times with comedy. It's very powerful, and it's a very powerful tool that we have that should be respected and honored, and to always remember. And that's what Tracy always continuously tells me. We are of service to all of our fans. We are of service. It is our job to do what we do and make people laugh and put a smile on people's face. That's our job. and it should be respected.
That really shows like his character, and I'm really happy for you to have shared that on my show.
No problem.
Because I really do think that the fans are extremely important, especially because the fans are the ones who watch the stuff. They're the ones who go to conventions and pay outrageous amounts of money to like meet people. And I mean, I'm one of those. Like I go to all the conventions in Pittsburgh. I cover a couple of them, and I'm just so dedicated to following the people that are important to me through their work. But I also want to talk about a little bit more of your film work. Let's talk about The Equalizer. What was it like working on that film, and your experiences?
Oh man, it was incredible. You're working with, Denzel Washington, arguably one of the greatest actors that ever lived. To be able to share the screen and watch his process and just watch him work in person was a dream come true on so many levels, as there's so many actors that, to this day haven't had that opportunity to work with Denzel. And for me to have had that honor is life changing. I learned a lot just from, different conversations and just watching him, as far as how to carry yourself, how to maintain your stamina throughout a long shooting schedule. Like, there's so many things that, in watching him, if you don't learn something, that's just because you're blind and you just refuse to, because he educates with everything that he does.
That's awesome. One of my close friends was a stand-in on Fences, and that was shot here in Pittsburgh. And you've only just confirmed like everything that my friend kind of said about his experience working, with Denzel, in that brief shoot. That Denzel is one of my all-time favorite actors, and you just don't hear anything bad about him. I think that really shows a lot, and he's just such a talented actor, and to work with him is something definitely very amazing, and I really hope you get to do it again.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Awesome. Let's talk about Get It Done Records. Can you explain more about what you do with that and everything?
Sure. Get It Done Records is a music production company that I have. We focus on TV and film placements all over the world. We have countless placement on pretty much every network on cable or basic cable, from shows from Ray Donovan, House of Lies, to various shows on NBA TV, Fox, America's Top Model, New Zealand, The Voice, Australia, films in Sweden, Korea, Japan, all of these. Worldwide, we have music, circulating from, I believe, over 55 shows at the moment.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, who are some of your favorite musicians?
Ooh, Sam Cooke, Prince, Michael Jackson, of course. And then you go into hip hop. You got Tupac, you got Biggie. Jadakiss is one of my favorites. 50 Cent is one of my favorites as well. J. Cole with some of the new guys. Kendrick. Like R&B, you got everybody from Drew Hill to Usher to I love a variety of different music. It all depends on my mood.
Awesome. I'm kind of the same. I'm like all over the place. I'm really excited. I got tickets to see DMX a couple weeks.
Oh, nice. And, a friend of mine went to this show in San Diego, man. They had a blast.
Awesome. And ironically, like the night after is Tom Morello.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really psyched for that, because I've never seen either of them before, and from what I hear, they're supposed to be like legendary concerts.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm really, really excited. I also wanted to talk about your upcoming film, Power. You have Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, among many others. Can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect from the film?
I'm under an NDA, so I can't really speak about it. Yeah, so, I wish I could, but I just know that it's going to be an action-packed film. I can't wait for people to see it. It's going to be, it's dope. It's dope. If that's the best way I can describe it. Without violating my NDA.
Right.
It's a dope movie. It's dope. I'm excited. I can't wait for it to release on Netflix.
I love both those guys. I've been following Joseph Gordon-Levitt since Angels in the Outfield. Jamie Foxx since In Living Color.
Of course.
Of course. He's really, really good.
Oh, he's incredible. He's incredible. Jamie's a phenomenal talent.
Can you, without talking about the film, can you talk about any experiences working with either of those guys?
I mainly worked with Joseph, so I can't really share anything about Jamie, but Joseph is just an incredible human being. Just an incredible human being, just a very humble, giving individual, just nice, man. Just a nice guy, man, focused, knows his job, knows what he's doing whenever on set. Like, just a really, 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 really good guy.
Awesome. That he seems like it. There's some people in Hollywood that just like it just seems like you want to hang out with them. Like you want to get to know them.
He's definitely one of those guys.
Yeah, awesome. My last last two questions are: what are some of your favorite films, and do you have any other stuff going on that you need to promote?
Right. Okay. Well, my favorite film of all time is Bad Boys.
All right.
Love Bad Boys. I believe it's the perfect action comedy, and their chemistry together is just bar none. I'm excited to see what they do in Bad Boys for Life.
Right.
Just to see those two back together. Martin is my favorite comedian of all time, so I'm a little biased on that one. But Troy is another one. Love Troy. Just the message of the movie. The story of Achilles is always fascinating to me. Gladiator's another one.
That's a great one.
That I love. American Gangster's another one. Aside from the Bad Boys, I really like these epic biopics.
Awesome. Any other things going on that you need to promote?
Yes. I have another series coming out called Sneakerheads with Complex, starring myself and King Batch. We have a bunch of cameos from various athletes, musicians. It's going to be a scripted series, a scripted show about the sneakerhead culture that is going to be hilarious. I have currently The Last OG season 2 is airing now, Tuesdays at 10:30 p.m. So everybody be sure to check that out. Also, I would urge everybody to download my app. I have an app called Everybody Digital. It's a short film streaming app. We've been quickly dubbed as the short film version of Netflix. I'm very proud of that. We have hundreds of short films in our catalog, as well as originals short films. We have several on there now. One starring Dion Cole from Blackish called Why Comedians Laugh. Another one by Miles Brown. Basically, I got everybody from Blackish to do a short. So Miles Brown has one called The Narcoleptic. We have comedy stand-up series called 10 Minutes Straight. We have a variety of short form content on the app that was suitable for every, whatever time period you have available, as our categories are broke down in like 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, and 20 minute categories. So you can find something for whatever time you have and whatever you're doing. So it's free. It's free to download. So please check it out. And for all the short film makers, if you want to be a part of the app, all you have to do is go to everybodydigital.com, as we're focused on helping our filmmakers get to the next level. Our goal this year is to help and produce short films that will transition into TV shows and feature films. So that's our main goal, and that's what we want to do and be able to help our filmmakers.
Fantastic. Well, Allen, thank you so much for coming on the show and
no problem. Thank you, brother.
Swimming in the bowl with me.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I would love to have you on the show anytime.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.